So search. Okay. So an uninformed search technique. 1 minute. Okay. So uninformed search technique means you do not have any domain knowledge about the problem. You just know what is your current state and the next state. Okay. Or the next state we are selecting, and it is able to move you to the goal state. We do not have any idea. Okay. So let you have no clue where non-goal state is better than any other, or you search is blind means you do not have any idea. You don't have no your current exploration is likely to be fruitful. Okay. In the uninformed search technique, we have discussed first BFS, breadth first search technique. Then we seen depth first search technique. First, we have discussed breadth first search technique. In the breadth first search technique, we explore the element one by one. Means what are the adjacent node of the current state we explored. Okay, if there is a goal state, we will stop. Otherwise, we will move to the next level of the node, next level of the graph or tree. Okay, we will search our goal state. If it is find our goal state in that level, we will stop. Otherwise, we will find our goal state into next level up to we reach to our goal state, or if goal state or the all the possible node we have searched. Okay. In the depth first search, we will explore the goal node in one direction. Means we will search our node, and if there is a three adjacent node, we will select any one of this node, and we will explore this node until we reach to the deepest end, or the deepest end. If we reach to the goal state, we will stop. Otherwise, we will start backtracking and find the other way. Okay. These two techniques we have been discussed. So in today's class, we will discuss the remaining two uninformed search technique, which are iterative deepening search technique, or iterative deepening DFS, or the next is bi-directional search technique. Okay. So let's start by the bi-directional search technique. Okay. Bi-directional search technique. First key point is it is the extension of BFS and DFS. What are the property of BFS and DFS? We will use the extension form in this bi-directional search. And second key point you can write as a search technique is a special kind of search technique. Here we search in both the direction. Means to simultaneously search from initial node, or the source node, or the starting node, and one other is goal node. We start exploration of the goal node from the initial node to goal node, and the another direction we start from the goal node to initial node. Okay, the two simultaneous search from one initial node to goal, and backward from goal node to initial node. Stop when we meet any point, any node. We will stop when we meet at any point. So this is the bidirectional search. We start exploring our goal node from both the end. We start from the initial node, and from other end we start from the other direction, in the backward direction. Okay. Like let me tell you one example. In BFS, what we do, we start from one node, which is start node, and looking for the our goal node. Okay. And the same in DFS. Like we are going somewhere, at our goal node, we start from our place and reach to our goal node. Okay, we followed in the VFS and DFS. Okay. Suppose there is one example. Suppose आप अपने किसी फ्रेंड के घर जा रहे हैं, तो आप क्या करते हैं, आप अपने घर से स्टार्ट करते हैं और अपने फ्रेंड का घर जो भी सर्च करते हो उसके एड्रेस पे आप पहुंचते हैं, ठीक है। हम फॉलो करते हैं VFS एंड DFS टेक्निक। ओके, वन डायरेक्शनल मीन्स वी आर मूविंग इन ओनली वन डायरेक्शन। ओके, और क्या कर सकते हैं, आप अपने फ्रेंड को बोल सकते हैं कि वो आपके घर आ जाए, ठीक है। ठीक है, आप आप अपने फ्रेंड के यहाँ जा रहे हैं या आपके फ्रेंड को आपके यहाँ बुला रहे हैं, one directional search like VFS and DFS. But in this bi-directional search, what we follow, we start, आप भी आपके फ्रेंड्स के डायरेक्शन मूव कर रहे हैं, तो आप अपने फ्रेंड्स को भी बोल रहे हैं कि आप भी मेरे डायरेक्शन में मूव करो, मीन्स मेरे घर की तरफ मूव करो। और जो भी पॉसिबल सर्च आप रास्ता आप ढूंढ पाते हैं उसमें कहीं बीच मिड पॉइंट पे आप मीट करेंगे। ओके, so in the bidirectional we start exploration of problem from both the end. Okay, but the condition is that in this bidirectional we must know what is our goal node and what is our initial node. Okay, always we have to idea about our both the node. Okay, then we can start. If we don't know where is our goal, how we can start from there. Okay, so this is the second key point or the basic definition of bidirectional. We start from both the end. Okay, is it clear? Is it clear to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so graph. Always you implement this bidirectional search in graph. You cannot implement in tree because tree is one directional. Okay, suppose this is the structure of your graph. You can take any structure. Okay, this is the state for node number 5, 6, 7, and 8. Here you just consider your node 1 is a start state or initial state, and node 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, it's the goal state. Okay, so what we do, we start from node A in this direction. Now we have two options. You choose BFS or DFS. Any search technique you can select. Okay, so just consider I am using depth first. So what you will do from this direction, you will select two, either 2 or 3. Just consider I just opt 3 for the next step. Then for the 3 there is an what are the exploration state, the next 4 only. Okay, there is one chance, so you will move from first you reach to 3 and then 4. In the same time your goal state is also looking for you. Okay, means your friend is also moving towards you, so goal state is also following just DFS. And then again the goal state is also two options, 6 or 7. Just consider it of state 6. Then 6, the DFS is only one option is 5, so it will move to the 5. In the same time it's also moving. Okay, doesn't consider one more state in between this 4 and 5 is 4.5. Just consider. Okay, so now the DFS has two options. It will opt 2 or 4.5. Okay, any state it can opt. Okay, in the DFS, just consider it's looking for 4.5 state. In the same time 5 and node 5 has two options again, 7, it will opt 7 or 4.5. If it is select 4.5, it will opt. Okay, then it meet at this point 4.5, means you have reached to a goal state, and means is the meeting point where you reached and find the path. Ultimately your goal is to find the path to reach goal from initial state to goal state. So this is the path you followed. You find the path from start state to goal state or goal state to start. It means whatever path you call it, start to goal or goal to start. But ultimately you find the path from your current state or start state to goal state. Is it clear? So what is the advantage of these bidirectional search over BFS and DFS? Anybody can guess why we are using?
Less time consuming.
Okay, good. It is 1 minute. It's consume less time, or the time complexity of this search technique is less compared to this BFS and DFS. As you know, the complexity, time complexity of BFS and DFS is B to the power D, where B is the branching factor and D is the depth. Okay, but here the time complexity of this search technique is B power of D by 2. You just half the search space. Okay, because you are exploring only half space and the other side is exploring the half space. So the ultimately your time complexity is reduced by half. Is it clear? Means the complexity from reach to start state to meeting state is the depth is d by 2. Here is also the depth is d by 2. You explore, you divide your search space by half. Okay, so the time and here it is, you can see from start state to meet state you follow the depth first search technique. So what is the complexity of depth first search technique is b to the power d by 2. Here depth is d by 2. Here again the follow the depth process from goal state to meet state. Again the depth complexity is b to power d by 2, because here again the depth is d by 2. Okay, so if we combine this current complexity b d by 2 plus b d by 2, the complexity will be 2b d by 2. Okay, so you can write this complexity as b by d by 2. Okay, you can ignore this b 2. Is it clear to all of you how this bidirectional search is working and what is the complexity, how this complexity is reduced compared to BFS and DFS? Okay, the next key point you can write about this bidirectional search is completeness. If we follow in this bidirectional search, we can use BFS or DFS as the previous. In this example, we have followed DFS. If we follow BFS, it is complete. When it complete means it definitely find the solution. If there is one solution or one path between this goal state to start state to goal state, it definitely BFS will be able to find that path. But in case of DFS, it is not give you guarantee to find the path, to find the solution from find the path between these two states. Okay, means you can say it's not complete, not you can write not complete because in many cases it find the path. Okay, so there is chance in DFS you cannot able to find the path between start to state to goal state, but even that path is exist. Okay, how, let's see. If there is one goal state, just consider this is your start state and goal state. Okay, there's and these between these two states there is two parallel path, and one from one direction you follow one path and from other direction follow one path. Means if you are going to your friend home and you followed one path which is parallel to other path, and your friend followed other path which is also parallel, you not meeting at any between any, means your friend is reached to your home and you reach to your friend home, and you not meet in between any place. Okay, so when if with this in this case your complexity will, in the worst case your complexity will be d to the power d, because you have traversed the whole search space. But if you followed here that BFS search level by level, it will search you are moving it like this. Okay, each path or whatever parallel path you will exploring in the same way your friend is exploring like this, so ultimately you will reach in some midpoint. So if you followed the BFS case, BFS. In this case, you will get the same complexity. What is the average complexity? Is your divide 2. But if you followed here the depth first search technique, your time complexity will be V to the power D. Yeah. Is it clear? These are the some key point or is about bidirectional search. Okay. Now let's go back to our PPT and see. There's the one bidirectional search. I'm reading out what I've written about bidirectional search. Searching a graph is a quite famous problem and have a lot of practical use. In normal graph search like BFS and DFS, we begin our search in one direction usually from source to our goal state. But in the bidirectional search, we start search from both the directions simultaneously. Okay. Bidirectional search is the graph search algorithm which find smallest path from source to goal vertex. Okay. So this the forward search means from source to goal state, and backward search from goal to your start state. Okay. Bidirectional search replace single search graph with two small subgraph. Means what is the your total search space? You just divide into two small subgraphs. One starting from the initial state to goal state, and another is goal state to initial state. Like this, here we have one graph is plotted. You just consider your zero from state 0 you start, and the goal state is 14, and you exploring the path between these two state. Okay. And you meet in somewhere. It depend on which search technique you are selecting, BFS or DFS. Okay. I have also mentioned what is the complexity of this algorithm. Okay. I will share this but document with you so you can read out the completely. Okay. When we use bidirectional search approach, means when we have to use this bidirectional search, there are two key points I have written here. Both initial and goal state are unique and completely defined. As I mentioned you, there is only one initial state or one goal state, and another thing is it must be it must it's completely defined. Okay. And branching factor is exactly same in both directions. Means if there is a branching factor of one direction is different and other direction different, it will increase your complexity. So we will use bidirectional search when the branching factor is uniformly across the graph. Okay. And performance measure its completeness depend on the which search technique you are using. Bidirectional search is complete if BFS is used in both searches, means from start to goal or goal to start. And optimality is optimal if we use BFS. As you know, BFS gives you always optimal solution if there is an exist. Okay. And time and space complexity, as we discussed, what is the complexity of this search technique is B to the power D by 2. Is it clear? BFS? If it is clear, you can write in chat. Okay. 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 So the next search, let's see the next search technique, which is iterative deepening DFS, or simply you can call this a iterative deepening search. Iterative deepening search or iterative deepening DFS. It's the extension of DFS. Okay. 1 minute. Again, let's write some key points. The first key point is obvious. It's an uninformed search technique. Second key point, bidirectional search is also an uninformed search technique. Okay, you can also write the key point in the bidirectional search. Okay, this is the combination of BFS and DFS, depth first search and breadth first search. Okay, and what is the actual concept, the key point? As you know, BFS, what are the advantage? What is the advantage of BFS? The advantage of BFS, it's completeness. Means completeness means it will give you definitely solution. If it exists, the solution is exist, it will give you. Okay, means it's complete. And what is the disadvantage of this BFS? It use memory, or the it's consume very much energy. Means the space complexity is very high. Means in the case of BFS, it will search the whole search space. Okay, all the possible node it will search. Okay, so when you search all the possible node, it will consume use memory. Okay, and DFS, let's see what is the advantage of DFS. The advantage of DFS is space complexity. It use less memory. Okay, and a disadvantage of this DFS is uncompleteness. It is not give you guarantee to find the solution. Okay, incompleteness. Okay. 1 minute. It's not a complete. Means it is not giving the guarantee to find the solution. So in this interactive deepening search technique, it took the advantage of both the BFS and DFS. It took the advantage of completeness from the BFS and space complexity, less space complexity from the DFS, and it's avoid disadvantage of space complexity and not completeness. Means it is taking advantage of both the search technique and it removing disadvantage of both the technique. Okay, so that's why we are calling it a combination of BFS and DFS. Now see how it actually work. Okay, so let me plot one graph. And let's say this one graph. Give the node name A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, and K. Okay. Please, just consider this is given you one graph, and here your start state is A for the initial state, and just consider your goal state is this K. K is your goal state. In this iterative deepening search technique, we search the goal by level. Let me write first. What we follow the principle. Let's write the depth. This is the depth 0, as you know. This is the depth 1, depth 2, depth 3. In this way, how you can write the depth. What is the depth? Depth is nothing but the node, how far the node is from the start node. Means what the node, the depth, you can define the depth as how far your node is from the start node. Okay, as you can see, this G node, if you talk about the what is the depth of G node, how far it's from the start node, as you can see, depth 1, depth 1. So you can see it is a depth 2. So the depth iterative deepening work as level by level. Okay, how is it? It will search level 1 or depth 1. It will search the goal state in depth 1. Sorry, from depth 0, or start from the depth 0, you can level 0, you can call this a depth. Okay, so it will search at depth 0. Is this state is goal state? If it is goal state, it will stop. Okay, if it is not a goal state, it will increase level by 1, or you can say level plus or increase the level by 1. Now you will search your goal state in the next level, till the next level. Okay, now it will search your goal state in the next level, till the next level. Here we will search our goal state till depth 1. So in the depth 1, this is your graph. You just consider A, B, C, D. Okay, so start from the starting node. A is goal node, no, so it will follow the DFS search. Okay, so the DFS search, we have three options, B, C, or D. Which node we are selecting, it's depend on you. So just consider you select B. Then B, from B, where you can go E and F, but it will not search E and F because your search area is till the depth 1. Okay, so it will backtrack from A and find the next node, which is C. Explore the C and compare C with goal node. Is it goal node or not? If not, then again it will backtrack and go for the next possible node, which is D, and D is again not a goal node, so it will stop. And in this till this level 1, we do not find our goal state. So what we will do, we will increase the level by 1. So you will now explore your goal node into the next level, till the next level, which is level 2. Again start from the start state A. Then we have three options, B, C, D. You will opt any one. Suppose B. Then now in this sub graph, you follow the DFS. Okay, DFS. Okay, so B and then E and F, two options. You can select either F or E. Just E, then F. Okay, so you can write apply DFS and write the sequence. Okay, so E, F, then go to C, then G, F. We have a choice, but we have not exploring the J because it's out of your depth. Okay, your current depth till the search is 2, so you are not search jth element because it is in level 3. Okay, so G, then D, H. From the H you can go for the K, but it is in the next level, so you are not exploring. Okay, you will backtrack and write the I. And the level has been completed and you are not reached to your goal state, so you will stop. Sorry, you will increase the level by 1. So now you have to you will search your goal state till level 3. In the same order you will follow, means DFS you will follow A, B, E, F, J, C, G, D, H, and after H you will search K, and now you can see or compare your current state K with goal state, and you will find it is the goal. So we'll stop. Okay, so and ultimately you are reached to your goal state, and you find the path from start state to goal state, which is A, D, H, K. So you will return this goal state with its path, which is A, D, H, K. Okay, is it clear? In this way, your iterative deepening DFS search technique work? Is it clear? Okay, so I'm just again repeating in the short what we are doing in this iterative deepening search technique. We search the our goal state level by level. We first the level or depth 0. If we find the goal state, we will stop. Otherwise, we increase the level by 1 and find the our goal state. And in this sub search space or sub graph, we follow DFS. In this sub graph, we follow DFS. Okay, and where we are using BFS, as you can see, if this is in this sub graph we follow the DFS. So when we increase the level, like level from 0 to 1, 1 to 2, you can see we are following BFS. It's the same way BFS work. BFS serves the element level by level. Okay, so we are following in this way, level 2, level 1, 2, 3, 4 up to where you reach to the goal state. So ultimately we are following BFS as well, and in the sub graph or sub tree we following DFS. So this iterative deepening DFS search technique followed the combination of BFS and DFS. Is it clear? Okay, so what is the advantage of this search technique? It's complete. The first advantage, it's complete in nature. Okay, if there is a solution, it will definitely find. Okay, like disadvantage of DFS, as you can see, it is stuck in any branch. Okay, if the branch you're selecting it's infinite, so you will find that element till the deepest point. Okay, you will find that you will explore that branch till the deepest point. Okay, but in this case you can see it is exploring the element in subgraph. It is fine, it is okay. Otherwise they will move to the next level. Okay, so ultimately it's a completeness. The nature of this search technique is completeness and less memory consuming, because you are following the DFS in subgraph. The second the disadvantage of this technique is it's unnecessary exploring the same node which is already explored. In the level 0 you explored this element A. In level 1 you are again exploring this element A. It's already explored in level 1. As you can see in level 2, when you reach to the level 2, you are exploring level 1 level 0 element as well, level 1 element as well. Okay, which is already explored. So this is one disadvantage, unnecessary exploring the node which is already explored in previous level. Okay, if it is clear you can write in chat, otherwise you can ask. Okay, so let's go back to our PPT, what I've written in the PPT. We've seen the breadth first, so I'm not explaining again and again the same search technique. The just so I'm just reading out some key points about iterative deepening search. To avoid the finite depth problem of DFS, only search until depth L. Okay, so we don't expand nodes beyond level L. What we have seen in in that explanation. Okay, we will explore the we will find that goal node till we have reached to the depth. Okay, means depth limited search. You can also call it a depth limited search. What if search is deeper than L? Increase L iteratively. Okay, we are increasing level one by one. Okay, so it's calling a iterative deepening search. Okay, This inherit the memory advantage of depth first search. As you know, depth first search time space complexity is less, so it is using that memory advantage, and better in term of space complexity than breadth first search. As you know, the breadth first search complexity is higher. Let's see how it's work at level 0. If this is a goal, we will stop. Otherwise, we will increase the level by 1. As here you can see level 0, then we increase the level 1 and exploring our goal state. Okay, and when we explore our goal state in particular level, we followed the DFS. Okay, now we reached to the level 2 and we are finding our goal in the sub graph. Okay, and the sub graph we are using DFS. Okay, again we are increasing our limit and finding that solution. Okay, iteratively we are increasing our depth. Okay, so this in this way we derive the what is the uh, complexity of that this search technique. Okay, if branching factor is 10 and depth is 5, your complexity will be uh, this like this. Okay, uh, these are the key point. Complete, yes, this iterative deepening search technique is complete because there is a solution it will be able to find. Time complexity is b to the power d is the same as the DFS and BFS. Space complexity is reduced by this BD. Okay, optimal, again it's depend. Okay, no for general cost function, and if yes, the non-decreasing function for the depth. Okay, bidirectional search as we already discussed, so I'm just removing, skipping what is the idea and why we. These are the comparison about these search technique BFS, DFS, and iterative deepening DFS. The time complexity of all these three technique are the same, which is b to the power d, and space complexity of DFS is d, means at which at the which depth your solution, the complexity will be so the depth. Okay, and the BFS is complexity is b to the power d is searching the whole search space, so the power b to the power d, and the DFS the complexity is bd. Okay, so when we use this search technique, this is all about this uninformed search technique. So we have covered all uninformed search technique: BFS, DFS, bidirectional search, and iterative deepening DFS. Okay. So in the next class, we will discuss informed search technique or heuristic search technique. Okay. So if you have any doubt, you can ask. Otherwise, write the attendance in chat. Write T for tiger,